So over the last couple of weeks, the Switch has gotten some pretty big ports of older games, so I thought I would take a look at them, check them out, and let you know what to expect if you're thinking about picking them up. We got Rocket League. Ooh, yeah. Games like this is what the Switch is made for. It runs at 720p while docked, but only 576p handheld, so it's not HD when it's in your hands, but on a screen this size, it's not the end of the world. The game does look a little jaggier than I would like, everything has some pointy edges, but who gives a shit when it runs at a locked 60 frames per second? Because this game runs like butter on the Switch. It's better than butter. I can't believe it's not butter, and that's because it's not butter, it's cars with hats. And any concerns about jaggy edges disappear the moment you start a match. Because you're only ever looking at the ball. You stop seeing the game. You just see sock car strategy. You're like if Tim Cahill to Toyota. The Joy-Cons are totally fine to play this as well, and the trade-off of having a little bit less precision using the thumbsticks compared to a normal controller is worth it so I can play this game while I'm driving my actual car. The best way to play Rocket League on the Switch is anyway. On the TV, on the couch, on the beach, before bed, in bed, under bed, all times are Rocket League times. Skyrim, the game Bethesda are physically incapable of not re-releasing every 2 weeks. A big game, a beloved game, and the Switch version is actually pretty good. Skyrim is certainly showing its age, but compared to the PC version, the Switch is holding its own. It looks like how you remember Skyrim looking. Switch games generally perform a bit better when docked, but here, the only thing that really changes is the resolution. You're locked in at 900p when it's docked, and it's a dynamically scaled 720p when portable. But pretty much everything else stays the same. Shadows, reflections, how ugly the people still are. I found a few frame rate hiccups here and there, but nothing that made it unplayable. And I know, you've already bought Skyrim like 36 times, but the wow factor with this version is you can take this game, put it in your pocket, and it's pretty much uncompromised. The best way to play Skyrim on the Switch is handheld. Shrinking that whole world down between your hands is a great way to show off the magic of the console. LA Noire, Rockstar's cop game set in the 1940s, was a strange beast when it came out, and we've still really yet to see anything like it. And now we can continue to still not really see anything like it, but on the Switch. The facial capture is great, the voice acting stellar, and it all translates across to the Switch perfectly. Out of all the games I checked out, LA Noire is the one that holds up the best, even compared to the new Xbox One X version, which is just a little bit shinier and with a bit better lighting. It's also the only one that runs at a full 1080p when docked, explaining why it looks so good on my television. And that's probably the best place to play it. The rigors of detective work are best done lying horizontal on your couch at midday on a Tuesday, covered in popcorn dust and your own shame. The best way to play LA Noire on the Switch is docked. You need the biggest screen you can to spot if that wise guy is telling porkies. Alright, finally, the big daddy, Doom. There's no way they could get Doom running on the Switch, right? Wrong, but also kind of right. I mean, look, it works. It certainly works. It's just also the worst version of Doom. Everything has been downgraded to get this running, and it means you're looking at a game you can just tell was not designed with this console in mind. It looks very blurry. The art design goes a long way to making you forget. It looks like someone wiped a thin layer of I can't believe it's not butter, and that's because it's not butter, it's cars with hats over your television, but it's not crisp. However, it is the full game. Complete levels, all weapons, all enemies, all that badass music. What is missing, unfortunately, is a rock-solid frame rate. The 30 frames can easily drop to 20 when there's a few enemies on screen, and this being Doom, you're gonna get a few enemies on screen. On handheld, it looks better because of the smaller screen, but the Joy-Cons are not great at all for aiming. And in a game like Doom where melee kills are essential, often when I'd press in on the right thumbstick, because it's so small, I'd also accidentally push the camera up, which isn't great. So it's compromised in pretty much every conceivable way. But it is amazing that Doom is running on the Switch at all. It's like the devs just wanted to see if they could do it, you know? It's like the platypus. Doesn't have to exist, God just wanted to prove a point. The best way to play Doom on the Switch is on a PC instead, but if you really want to play on the Switch, then go undocked with the Pro Controller. You want the smallest screen for this to pop, but you want the Pro Controller for maximum demon murder. So there you have it, the Switch is having an incredible first year, and with the release of these ports, it's proof that with a few small compromises, it can compete with the best of them. The downloads are a though. It was like 50 gig just to do this segment. Busted a cap in our data cap. I assume someone else is paying for that.